Welcome everyone as we prepare for Shabbos Parashat Balak. Parashat Balak is another beautiful parsha that shows just how much Hashem loves Beni Yisroal. Parsha opens with the story of Balak, the king of Moab, how he's scared of the Jews, like the pasuk says, that Moab is very afraid of the nation, which means Beni Yisroal. Kiravhu, because there was a lot of them. And Moab was disgusted from before Beni Yisroal. So we have to understand why exactly was Moab disgusted. And they hire Bilam, the prophet, to curse the Beni Yisroal. They send emissaries to them. And one of the languages that when they tell over their story about what they're afraid of is very telling. It says, V'hine am yotzim Mitzrayim, behold, the nation, meaning the Beni Yisroal, left from Mitzrayim, v'yichas ayin ha'aretz. And they're covering up, they're concealing literally the eye of the land. Very interesting language. I think that the only time you find it is back in Parashat by the Ace Makkah, when it describes what happened with the locust. He says, it says that it was covered up, the eye of the land, and you weren't able to see the land. The basic interpretation is exactly like it sounds like. There were so many Jews, just like there were so many locusts, that it covered up the whole land, you couldn't see the land. But it doesn't really deal with the question of why was Balak so disgusted with the Jews that he felt he had no choice but to go ahead and hire Bilam to curse them. So what's the Ayin Aretz? Ayin Aretz means that you're focusing on the land. So what about the Jewish worldview was so repulsive to Balak that he had to get rid of the Jews? Because when the Jews came up from Mitzrayim, they got the Torah and they said, listen, this whole world, you view it as the Aretz, you've used the Chaymer, you've used the Gashmi, you view the material part of this world as the main part of the world. The Jew says no, they reject that message. So what do? Mechasis ayin aretz. They cover up the focusing on the land. They say this is not what's important. What's important is to be connected with God. And that is something that Balak just can't handle. It's totally anti his whole worldview, and it's been one of the main drivers of anti-Semitism till today, is that the subtle knock of the Jew on the world saying, hey, there is something greater going on in this world. There's a connection with God. There's spirituality. There's a call here to be connected. And just like the locusts, when they covered it up and they said they weren't miyachis to the land at all, they didn't care about it, just moving on. The Jew, the same way, does not miyachis to the ayin aretz. He says, it's not for us. That's not what we're about. And Balak couldn't take that. He says, this is something that needs to be eradicated. This message of searching and yearning to be connected with God, just like we were then, wish everybody a fabulous